We'll go through, I guess, the load, the contact point, the follow through, and then we'll just go through just some different activities and stuff that we can work on with kids at practice and what have you. All right, the stance. Come a bit close. I'm not going to swing the bat yet, so come a bit closer, guys. Let me move this real quick.
Mitchell, don't stand behind Shane. Get over this.
All right, the stance. Now, the best way to explain a stance is whatever's comfortable as possible. Okay, so there's no special way to stand. Okay, as long as the batter feels comfortable with their stance, that's fine. That's perfect. I guess if you look at, and you can get online and just look at, you can just Google Major League Baseball batting stances, and you're going to come across 1,000 different stances. Okay,
is that what you look at? Stance.
If you look at one person this month, and then you search for the same person next month, there might be a different stance. Okay, it's just whatever's working for them at the time. The basic starting point, okay, with the stance, feet shoulder width apart. Okay, where I hold the bat, I pretty much just pick the bat up and put it straight on my shoulder. Okay, grip the bat within your fingers as opposed to deep in your palm. Now some people do hold in their palm, that's okay, but ideally somewhere within your fingers or around your knuckle area as opposed to deep within your thumb. If that makes sense. There's just somewhere within your fingers. Now, there's they always talk about lining your knocking knuckles up. I mean, there's no real difference if it's lined up or if it's just off center. As long as it's within your fingers somewhere, just not deep within your palm. You guys can experiment that. And feel the reason being is pretty much I've locked myself in place, and it's very difficult for me to start swinging. I haven't got as much freedom or much whiplash or what we call barrel release. Right now it's in my fingers, and the barrel's coming through nice and easy, but as soon as I put it in my palm, see if I can do it, it's a lot slower as I move, as opposed to nice and easy. Okay, so in my fingers there, bat on your shoulder. So that's a regulation, that's a generic, simple stance to start with. Okay.
So that's just when they walk into the box.
Yeah, so just walk in there, get myself sorted, and I'm there. Okay, so if I was to do my stance, where am I at the moment? I'm up here at the moment. So I'm about here. This is my stance at the moment.
Are you purposely behind the base though, or is...
Me personally, I like to see, when I'm looking at the picture, I like to see a reference point. And that's my reference point. Okay. Some people like to move back. Some people might like to move forward. Okay. I don't play in the ABL anymore, but when I was playing the ABL, some guy was throwing a little bit harder. I might move a little bit further back to give myself a little bit of time. But knowing that they're going to throw a curveball at some point, so the ball's going to move on me a lot more than if I was a little bit closer. Okay. But that's the risk that I took. So I might just move back just a little bit here. If I'm feeling really good, me personally, I may move in or out. But very rarely now do I move backwards and forwards. Okay. If I want to achieve something, if I want to hit the ball to the right side, and I know that the pitcher is this is pretty extreme here, elite, yeah. So if I know the pitcher's continuously pitching me there on the outside part of the plate, I may move closer. Okay, because he's pitching me out there, so I might as well move my plate that way. If I move it. But that's pretty advanced stuff there. That's pretty elite. But as long as you're within the batter's box, you can stay over. As long as you're having success, you can stay over. Like me personally, at the moment, I like to see the pitcher, but still have I can still see my reference point in the plate. I just something I'm comfortable with at the moment. Okay, so I mean you're in your stance here. Now as the pitcher loads, so they're going to kick their leg and load, so their arm goes back. That's when I start loading. So I've got to start going back. So for me to generate force going forwards, I've got to go back at some point. So it's like throwing a punch. We always refer to it throwing a punch. For me to throw a punch as hard as I can, I've got to go back with my arm and a little bit of my body weight before I start going forward and rotating. Same sort of deal as hitting. I'm here, I've got to go back. That's my load. Okay, so I could just be to here and do that, that's fine. Okay, or I could move my whole body. Okay, to move back. That's your load. Now as the pitch gets delivered, the bat path, bring the ball in there. My bat path just goes straight into my contact zone, okay, which is roughly about there, and it stays all the way through my contact zone and then out. Okay, so you might find a lot of kids will go in and then out. Okay, so I try and develop a swing path that hits from there all the way through, and then out of the strike zone. Because you're going to have more success. The longer my bat path goes down straight to it, and then stays through it, okay, I'm going to have more success. Does that sort of make sense there?
So how do you develop that path?
The part, yeah, there you go. So tee work and batting practice. Okay. So let's start with, that's pretty much the basics of hitting there. So you got your stance, which is nice and relaxed. I've got to go backwards. My apologies. Yeah, my apologies. I forgot to mention. in my stance, I have a bit of rhythm. Okay, so I'm just not stationary. Okay, so you want a bit of rhythm about yourself. Okay. You can if you want. If are you talking like stand like this?
No. Front one.
Oh, front foot like that?
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable, I don't feel comfortable doing it, but if you feel comfortable doing it, that's fine. As long as you're still having success by rotating, because essentially, it doesn't matter what you look like, as long as you get to your contact point, which is I'm starting to rotate, my shoelaces are pointing towards the picture, okay, and I'm making contact out in front of my body, that's pretty much what you're after. Now, the only way to see that is to film yourself in slow motion and see it, alright? How you see it in a game is the result that happens. Okay, so if I hit a fly ball that goes up, what do you reckon went wrong with that? Yeah, I came underneath the ball, okay, or I may have like gone forwards before I started with my swing, as opposed to locking myself into swing. Okay, but essentially all I've done is just swung up. Okay? If I hit a ground ball, what happens?
You swung over.
I swung over the top of the ball. All right, there's some quick, immediate feedback with that. So if I was to do it on a tee, you can easily change that. But in a game, all right, there's that many different influential factors with your timing. All right, that's where BP comes into play, where batting practice, front toss, or coach pitch comes into play, that you work with your timing. So what I mean with your timing, and it comes back to the bat part going to the contact zone, which is roughly about here. All right, if I'm late on my swing, I'm still going to have some sort of success if I hit the ball here, because I'm staying through my contact zone. If I'm all of a sudden early with that same swing, all of a sudden I'm hitting the ball there. Okay, but if I'm going down and then out with my swing, my success rate is going to be quite low. Okay, because I've got to be spot on with my swing. All right. So with your swing, there's a few factors with developing your swing now. So you've got your swing path or swing practice, which is a lot of tee work, and then you've got your game practice, which is batting practice or some moving ball. Okay. So with your tee work, and we're going to go through this now. With your tee work, all right, you're going to set yourself up, all right, and all we're concentrating on is angle and rotation. So the angle of the flight of the ball with backspin. That's all we're trying to create. Okay. If we have backspin, the ball's going to stay true, okay, as opposed to topspin, it'll die. So we want backspin with good angle, which gives us that nice line drive. Okay, if we hit a line drive, we're going to be more successful because it's going to go over the infield, maybe land before the outfielders, or if we hit it hard enough, it might split the outfielders and go in between, as opposed to a fly ball that goes up or a ground ball that goes down. Does that make sense there? Sweet. All right, so we're going to start hitting them. You know what? I'll accelerate this process because when we start hitting, we're going to go through this stage here where it's just nice out in front. Okay, and then we're going to go through different areas within the plate. Okay, so sorry mate, I'm just going to swing back for a second. So this is a pitch. If I was to hit a ball that's over the middle of the plate, ignore that this is home plate. All right, pretend that's a square. This is home plate. All right. So if I'm hitting a ball out in the middle of home plate, can you see where roughly that ball is situated? Is it out in front or right on it?
It's right
of home plate.
It's front.
In front of home plate. So all my contact point, my best contact point is out in front. So if I want to hit a ball straight away centre, all right, it's down the middle but out in front. Let's see how we go. First swing of the day. All right. That's pretty much it. If I want to hit the ball to right field, all right, roughly about here is my happy place. What's happened to the ball now? Where's my contact point now?
Early.
A lot further forward, and where? Inside. So now all of a sudden it's a lot further forward. My feet are still staying the same, and then right. Now if I hit the ball to left field, where do you reckon my tee's going to go?
Closer towards the outside.
Yeah. Alright, does that sort of make sense there? So
Just go get them, Ash. Yeah, sure.
So when we do our tee work, we're going to start with our happy place. Irrelevant of where the home plate is at the moment, just start with your happy place, and all we're trying to achieve is angle and rotation, and then we'll start to move the tee around throughout the course of the hitting session, and that might do us for the night, I reckon.